Okay, now I was talking about how to input those passwords, which is really the highlight of this whole setup right here. I mean, at least to me. It says, please input a password number when you play back the tape on which the password was set up. Yes, whenever you place, now I do plan to show you this physically. I'm just kind of explaining this in this video. When you put in a tape that has a password designated on it, you won't see a video at all. You'll see a blank screen along with the wording letting you know to type in the password. It's pretty much this right here. It's like a little tiny screen that says password please, along with an OK and cancel. It's asking you for the password. Now it'll show you that screen the entire length of that password protected recording. That password please will not go away. It'll keep asking you for the password throughout. It says the password please screen is displayed the tape and running, but the picture will not appear. Yes, that is what happens. It'll keep asking you for a password. If you don't have the password, you can't see anything. You can also not hear anything. It's like if the machine does not have a tape at all. Now it will be running. It will be moving the tape itself, but you won't be able to see anything and you won't be able to hear anything. All you'll be able to see is this right here telling you password please. Okay, right here, very interesting. Input password number. Notice it says number because it's only numbers. Press the 5-digit. Actually, this is a typo on here. It says press the 5-digit number. N-A-M-B-E-R. Anyways, it says press the 5-digit number keys. The input, the password number. Then OK. Password OK screen is displayed and becomes the playback screen about 3 seconds. Okay, so after you press in that password, you'll have a delay of about 3 seconds. That delay is probably because of the internal decryptor card. Now, I do plan to show you that card. It looks very rough. It looks handmade. It's in this machine, and I plan to show you. It looks very rough. The reason I say it looks very rough, it looks like it was handmade. You can see the soldering on it. You can see the exterior bridges. You can see the exposed wires on it. I'm very happy that these machines work. I mean, I can't imagine having to fix such a card myself. Like I told you, I'm not an expert. I'm not very handy at modifying things, but I want to show you those cards. Okay, it says down here, if the password is different, password NG will be displayed as the password please display again. Okay, so this is what happens. Now I do plan to show you that physically in another video. If you type in the wrong password, it'll show a screen that says password NG. Now let me tell you a little bit about these passwords. It doesn't have to be a 5-digit password. For example, I've done it. And it was probably a bad idea to do back in 2004. I've used a password 0. That's what I designated. I typed in 0 and then I pressed in OK when I made the recording, and that was pretty much the password. The password was the number 0. Now, back in 2004, that was probably a very bad idea. But it's wonderful to know that it doesn't have to be 5-digit. It can be a single digit. It can be 2 digits. It can be 3 digits, 4 or 5 digits if you wish. Okay, now there's something else about these passwords, which I probably won't show you on this video right here. Since it is a 5-digit password, right away you're probably thinking, oh, 5 digits, you probably have 100,000 possibilities. Now, the reason I'm saying 100,000 is because, like I told you, you can use 0, which means that instead of having 99,999 options, you would have 100,000 options. But no, it doesn't work that way. There is a limit to the highest number. Now I won't show you what that limit is on this video because I actually don't remember it. I don't have my screen set up, and I don't really want to do it right now because I mean this video that's almost 3 hours long already. Like I told you, I'm gonna do my best. I feel like this video has been long overdue. All right. Okay, now this is something very interesting. Like I told you, you are able to view those password protected videos both on the recorder and the reader, but they work a little bit different because on the recorder, it always asks you for the password every single time. For example, if you eject a tape, if you press stop, if you press pause, it'll ask you for that password again. That's on the recorder. Now on the reader, it'll only ask you the password one time. Once you type in that password, it'll become recorded on the VCR itself, because the VCR actually has something which was called video navigation. Now, if you're familiar with super VHS machines made by JVC, they also had video navigation, which was wonderful. You didn't have to actually physically write down what these tapes had on the little card that's in here or on the little labels. I'm saying little because they're pretty little, because some of these tapes you were able to record a whole lot of information and you were pretty limited by the amount of space that you have to write on there. So they had this, which JVC called video navigation, which would allow you to record in what was actually recorded on the videotape, and it will be stored on the machine itself. Now there is a limit. There's a limit of 1,000 tapes. After you reach 1,000 tapes, the machine will tell you memory full. If there is no more space, so we can record whatever is on the videotape. The reason I highlighted this is because this tells you how to deactivate that video navigation, which I actually did. I actually deactivated the video navigation because I don't like knowing that the password for those videos is being stored on the machine itself. I prefer when the machine asks you for that password every single time. So this is how you deactivate that video navigation setting. Well, actually, talking about video navigation, another advantage of this top machine right here is the fact that it does offer video navigation. This recorder does not offer. This one is a very basic machine. Talking about that, and I'm not going to show you in this video because, like I told you, this video's almost been 3 hours. The mechanical noise on the recorder. Let me kind of open these right here. The mechanical noise on these machines, this machine, the recorder, it's very loud. For example, when you eject a tape, it kind of spits it back at you, very, very rough, very nastily. This one works very smoothly. When you eject a tape, it comes out very nice, very smooth. And also when you're playing back a tape, there's a lot of noise on the parts in here. This one is very quiet, which makes sense. I mean, this machine was probably used like in a warehouse or a video editing setup. There really was no reason to dedicate the time to make a quiet machine. It really didn't matter. On this one, since it did reside on the homes of those critics, you probably wanted to have a very nice looking, very smooth working machine. Now, like, I don't plan to show you on this video, but the programming, the on-screen programming on this machine looks very ugly. It's a very basic setup with a gray colored background. Not very nice. On this one right here, it looks very nice. You have sort of like a landscape image whenever you use the menu settings. And you have a whole lot of options on this machine. The amount of programming on this machine compared to this one, the programming is very short, very small, not that much things to move around compared to this one. This one has a lot of settings. This one allows you to down convert video, up convert video. For example, it lets you It has more recording settings. You can use the LS5. This one does not. So much higher menu settings, much less. Very ugly looking menu setting, very nice looking. And also another thing, which I won't show you on this video. I'll make that on another video that I'll make. The boot up time, when you turn on these machines, this one is very fast. I mean, it's not instant, but it takes a while, but not much. It takes probably 5 seconds, which is, it's okay, it's fine. 5 seconds is fine. But this machine, it takes a long time to boot up. It does a whole lot of tests. It makes sure that everything's working fine. It makes sure that its belts are in good shape. It makes sure that the video drum is clean. If you have a tape in here, it'll check it and determine what kind of tape it has. And it'll show you right here if it has a D theater tape, if it has a DVHS, a super VHS, or a standard VHS tape. It does a whole lot of things before you can use this. So for example, if you're in a rush and you want to view a video right away, you're going to have to wait a while on this top machine, the playback machine, because I haven't really timed it exactly, but I would say it's about 15 seconds. So this takes 4 seconds before you can do anything. This takes about 15 seconds before you can do anything. All right. We're almost done here. Like I told you, I'm going to do my best here. All right. Okay. Now this is a very hot topic right here on many forums. This is regarding the picture control and the video calibration. Now, to me specifically, I like these settings. I do use these settings. It says when this function is set on, the VCR checks the condition of the tape in use during playback and recording and compensates to provide the highest possible pictures. Now, I do turn on the setting. I do use it. I like it. I mean, you might not. It's up to the individual user. The picture control. I do use it. I do like it. Now, it has quite a few settings here. It has a total of 4. It has the auto, it has the edit, it has the soft, and it has the sharp. Of all of these 4 settings, my personal favorite is the auto setting. I mean, at least to me, it produces the best image. But that can vary. I mean, you might not like it, that setting. You might like the soft, you might like the sharp. I mean, that's up to the user. When you use the auto setting, it says, normally select this. Picture quality is adjusted automatically. That's what I use. It has the edit. It says it minimizes picture degradation during editing, recording, and playback. That's a very good idea. For example, if you plan to transfer a standard VHS or super VHS tape to a digital format using these machines, I really suggest you press edit. You really don't want to modify that video with these machines because you can do a much better job post-processing on your computer, especially nowadays. You have quite a few options on software to edit video in the here and now, and a lot of them, they're free. There's a wonderful piece of software that I use a lot when I capture videos, not just VHS. When I capture, for example, the CVC micro video cassette format, which was released back in 1980, for example, the 1976 Sanyo VCore 2 format, and for example, the 1977 Quasar VX format. I use that software for quite a few reasons. Well, one of the main reasons is because it's free. I mean, everybody loves free stuff. It's a free piece of software. It's very feature rich. Now, I don't remember the name. You might. It's a software which allows video capture as well as editing. It's an all-in-one software and it's free. It's available online. It's a wonderful piece of software. We also have the soft setting. Now, this soft setting, I don't really like it. It says it reduces image coarseness when viewing overplayed tapes containing much noise. I don't really like it, but I mean, I'll tell you right now, the soft setting on this playback machine it's a wonderful job. They did a great job on it. On this recorder, they did an awful job. It looks hideous, to tell you the truth. You also have the sharp setting, and it says clearer, sharper edge picture when viewing images with much flat, same color surfaces, just as cartoons. Now the sharp setting, I don't really like it, but I mean, like I told you, that depends on the user. I mean, you might like it, but I'll tell you, on this recorder machine, they did an awful job. It's way too sharp. On this, they did a much better job. Now, I don't use the sharp setting. I use the auto. Okay. Now this right here, not like I told you, this is a hot topic right here on many online forums. The digital R3 setting. I don't like it. One of the main reasons is because I do in fact use a digital LCD screen, which has a lot of resolution compared to the screens that were available back in 2004. So I mostly leave that off, but it's nice to know that it has that option. And the video stabilizer, this is very important right here. Now I know that on many machines, when you overuse this setting, which means that you use it quite often and you use it very repeatedly. For example, if you're a professional and you do video transfer to a digital format and you use a machine, for example, for 5 hours straight for many recordings, there's a high chance that you'll damage your machine, because on many of the low budget machines, they used a lot of plastic parts, a very small motor on that dynamic drum. Now on both of these machines, I can confirm they use the higher quality parts, the bigger motor. You have to consider, like I told you, these machines are very used, they're very old. They were used professionally by television broadcast stations and the motion picture industry. So I'm pretty sure that that motor, that motor that I'm talking about, is actually placed exactly underneath the video drum. And what it does, it adjusts the angle of that video. They called it the dynamic drum. So these two machines have the higher quality parts on that dynamic drum setting. All right, we're almost done here. Okay, this is something which I thought was very interesting. These machines do allow you to convert from the 720 to the 1080 conversion, which it works wonderfully. I mean, I've tried it. It works great. 720p is up converted to 1080i and output to the TV. I've tried it and it works great. Actually, there's a very rare machine out there. It was a, believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people don't believe it, but it did exist. It was a Blu-ray / VHS machines. And I know you might be thinking that doesn't exist. You're kidding, right? Like, how can that exist? How can a Blu-ray / VHS machine exist? Well, it did. I don't own it because I consider it to be quite common. You'll find them on eBay. Those machines, which was the Blu-ray / VHS machine, it did also allow this option to up convert to 1080i resolution a standard VHS tape. I mean, that's a huge jump to go from the standard 240 scanline resolution of a VHS tape to a 1080i signal. And this machine allows it, which is wonderful to know. Now, I don't use it because my monitors, they don't really allow you to input a 1080i signal on them because they use standard RCA composite and S-video inputs. And it also has the option to convert all to 480i, which I use. I use that quite often. It says all images will be output to the TV in 480i image format. That's what I use when I use these machines. I use the 480i conversion so I can use my older. I know they're low quality. I like that aspect ratio, that 4:3 aspect ratio. It really it transports me back into to those days when I used to watch these movies on television back in the 80s, back in the 90s. All right. Now another interesting thing here, you can actually choose between. Now I love the fact that they place this option. You can either choose between 16:9 aspect ratio or the normal 4:3 aspect ratio. Now you better believe me that I use this normal 4:3 aspect ratio because, like I told you, my screens, they do have a 4:3 aspect ratio. It says select the appropriate mode depending on the type of TV that you have. I mean, it would have been very awful if this option was not here, if they did not allow this option. That means that I would have a monitor with a very flat, thin image on it with a lot of those, they call it black bars on top and the bottom. All right. So finally we come to an end. Now, I did my best in explaining how this setup works, how much it cost back in 2004, which motion picture industries use this setup. It was the MGM as well as the Universal, as well as which television broadcast stations use this setup. It was the WB, as well as some of the shows which might have used a setup. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm a very happy owner of this setup. I do use this setup. Now, this is not the rarest machines in my collection. I own machines that are rarer than this, a lot more rare. And I do plan to show these machines. Actually, I actually made postings of this setup here on my Twitter account. And I also sent emails to other collectors, letting them know that I have this setup. Letting them know, do you have this setup? Because to tell you the truth, I don't know if I'm the best person to make such a video for this setup. And on many of those emails that I sent out, I never got a reply. I don't know why. Maybe they're jealous, or maybe they don't really care about this Pro HD setup. I mean, for whatever reason it is, I found that, that was a long time ago. That was probably a month ago. And I really thought long and hard before I decided to make this video. I realized that sometimes when you want to get something done, you just got to do it yourself. And like I told you, I own many machines they're way more rare than this, they have more history than this. I mean, this was used by the motion picture industry, which is wonderful to know, but I have other machines which have more history than this. They're more rare, they're more special. You might call that special. I mean, to me, they're special. Especially because they really remind me of when I used to help my father fix videotape machines. He used to do this for a living back in the 80s and 90s. I decided to continue this hobby, which he had. And it's been a wonderful experience. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to appreciate. And I've noticed that concerning this hobby, there's a lot of greed out there. There's a lot of lack of help. And I really hope to destroy that. I mean, if you're a collector yourself, if you need help, please do ask me for help. I have a lot of patience. I'm willing to lend these machines. I mean, I really want you to succeed if you're a collector. For example, if you have one of these machines and they don't work, and if it could really help you, if you had a working machine, let me know. Right now, for example, I don't want to give any specifics, but my favorite machine is a 1986 machine. It's a NASA / military grade machine. I actually paid myself from my own money to have that machine sent out to another collector because he told me that he knows someone that's very famous. It's a multi-million-dollar celebrity the celebrity has recordings in the CVC micro video cassette format. And he wanted me to work directly with the celebrity. And I told him, okay, I'm not really, I don't really feel okay working directly with somebody with that kind of, you might call it stature. I told him, I have this machine. In my opinion, it's the best machine that you can use for such a format. I'm gonna pay to have it sent to you because I want you to do the best job you can. Because he told me the specifics. I'm not gonna tell you in this video, but he told me who it is. And I Googled this celebrity, and I was just like, wow, this is a very special project. It deserves the best of the best. And in my opinion, for example, my weakness is the video transfer aspect of this hobby. I don't use the best machines to transfer. I don't use the best software. Like I told you, I use free software out there. So I told him, I know that you can do a much better job in transferring to a digital format if I mail you this machine. And he promised me he was gonna update me on the progress on that project. And it really doesn't cost me anything to lend that machine. I mean, like I told you, it's my favorite machine. I pay to have it sent to him because I really want him to succeed. I really know that that's a very special project. And I guess I'll stop this video. I mean, this video has been over 3 hours long. And this is the first part. There's a whole lot more to say about this setup, this Pro HD setup. Like I told you, there are no videos on this. And hopefully I do this format justice. I really try my best. I gave you a whole lot of numbers, a whole lot of prices, a whole lot of information. And if it turns out that you have this setup and you feel like you can do a better job than me, please do. And I gotta tell you, I haven't been using YouTube for that long. My first video was made back in 2020 in January. And I gotta tell you, the hardest part is getting started. Once you get started with this hobby, it only gets easier. You only get better at it. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot to learn. And I really want to show these very rare machines with the world. And I really want to make some great videos. Like I tell you, you will never find any commercials on my videos. And you won't see any fancy music or transitions, but I'm gonna pour my heart out. I'm gonna give you my best. Because I really want these machines to be appreciated. And I refuse to let them become e-waste. Thank you so much.